February 28th, a series of strikes on Iran by the United States and Israel have killed over 1,000 people, including 150 schoolgirls. Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, was also killed. The US and Israel have provided conflicting and shifting explanations of their objectives, stating goals of preventing Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon, regime change, and defensive action against alleged imminent threats from Iran. Iran has since launched retaliatory strikes against U.S. military installations, one of which killed 6 U.S. service members. In other news, Republican Representative Nancy Mace of South Carolina introduced a motion to subpoena Attorney General Pam Bondi to testify before the House of Representatives Oversight Committee on the Justice Department's handling of the Epstein files release. On Wednesday, 5 Republicans joined Democrats to pass the motion. Top Democrat on the committee, Representative Robert Garcia of California, said in a statement, "For months, Attorney General Bondi has been instrumental in orchestrating the White House's cover-up of the Epstein files and has failed to comply with our bipartisan subpoena for the release of the complete, unredacted files." In local news, this past week, Amherst Department of Public Works employees who have been working without a contract since July 1st held a rally at a town hall meeting to protest low wages, high turnover, and poor building conditions. Town manager Paul Bockelman responded saying, "I respect each of them and am committed to working with our union leaders to reach a collective bargaining settlement that is fair, that makes needed investments, and that is financially sustainable for our town." I'm Jane, and thanks for watching.
Hi, I'm Olive, and welcome to the Transcript. This week we learned about an NHS teacher's love for books, went behind the scenes of Mean Girls the Musical, investigated recent fires at the Holyoke Mall, and immersed ourselves in a local silent disco project.
On Wednesday, March 11th, teacher Rebecca Hershkovitz is holding a special event called the Silent Disco Studio Hour. Ms. Hershkovitz has been making art for several years now, and her most recent project is an exhibit called We Are Always Beautiful. This exhibit focuses on abstract art, exploring themes of human grief made with a variety of materials. We interviewed Ms. Hershkovitz about her art and upcoming studio hour.
For me, making art and then what the art is about are probably slightly different reasons for doing it or thinking behind it. So I think the process of making art feels very important for giving yourself time and space that's not filled with words, filled with language, or even filled with other people's outside perspectives. It's like a chance to really get grounded in yourself and in the moment. And then the art that I've been making recently is more abstract and thinking about how maybe multiple things can be true at once. So there's not a full foreground or background. Lines kind of start and end and start again. The Silent Disco Studio Hour is a really fun companion to the art show that's happening. So we're having an art show at the courtyard lower level at 33 Holly Street. The art that's in that show is all abstract. It's with lines, with shapes, with colors, feeling an energy or a vibe, and then letting each mark take you to the next place. And so we're using the studio that is right next to the gallery to sign up online, and it's sponsored by the Northampton Arts Council and the Massachusetts Cultural Council. They're helping to pay for all the materials. So for kids to participate up until age 17, it's just carving out 1 hour of our lives to all listen to the same playlist, the same music at the same time. Listening to the playlist that I've curated that goes for exactly an hour. We're all using the same materials. I have been an artist probably since I was born, or very little. My parents keep a lot of artwork. Yeah, I think I always said I want to be an artist. I always wanted to be a teacher, so becoming an art teacher totally made sense. I feel like the focus is really about being in the present moment. Be in a shared space, but to share space in a way that's not talking. A way of art making that isn't as prescribed. Or teens and preteens who are interested in art or identify as an artist to come into a making space.
If you want to sign up for the Silent Disco Studio Hour, swing by and grab a flyer by room 213.
2 weeks ago, first responders arrived at the Holyoke Mall at 11 p.m. on Tuesday, February 17th, after a fire started in the ductwork of the building. This fire caused smoke to run through the mall and down to the food court and basement. After an abundance of caution, stores began opening again. The only parts of the mall that are still closed to the public are the food court and surrounding areas. This week, we talked to first responders to see what the process of dealing with this event and post-emergencies related to the Holyoke Mall was. We also spoke with the mall workers for their opinion on the fire and the mall's safety.
Yeah, I am worried about other fires. You know, fires can happen at any moment, and when you're working in a store full of flammable material, it can be quite nerve-wracking at times.
Personally, I'm not super worried or stressed about anything like that. And they have a bunch of protocols with the fire department, so they're here very quick. They have a good response time.
Does it show a pattern of recklessness? No. The other incidents were isolated. We don't think there's a pattern there at all. If there was, we would be up there 24/7 monitoring that. We've investigated all the instances thoroughly. Nothing's connected, and there's really nothing the mall could have done to combat each of those, so that they wouldn't have happened.
I think they took care of things quite adequately. It was admirable, I have to say.
I think firefighters were able to get there and get it dealt with within like an hour or two. Nobody was hurt, luckily. And as far as like regular storefronts, we all opened back up in like 2 days. And then a couple of the big box stores like Target, the whole food court, and a little food place that was affected the worst on the first floor, they took an extra day. But everything was really quick, snappy, and the team that they had come in, you almost couldn't tell that they did any work, and they were ripping down walls and everything to make sure they got it all put out.
I'm a little more concerned about the other incidents here at the Holyoke Mall. There's been a couple shootings, which is not great, but none of them are great, but...
Honestly, I was really terrified when I heard that there was a fire here.
I think the Holyoke Mall has definitely increased their security a lot, and I think they're doing a much better job than they were. So, all things considered, I think they could be doing better, but really anybody could be doing better. So they're doing the best they can right now.
The mall was built back in the 70s. Different building codes back then, different regulations, different restrictions. They're going to be working with all the restaurants in the Cafe Square area, plus their contractors. They're actually going to be upgrading everything to meet the new building code. So there'll be an extensive renovation happening when it comes to the vent systems coming out of those restaurants. It'll make it easier for them to clean these shafts and to help the restaurants and everybody be safer when they're at the mall.
If you'd like to find out more yourself, you can contact Holyoke authorities using the phone number in the description. Thank you guys for watching.
On March 12th, 13th, and 14th, Northampton High School is hosting Mean Girls, a full-length rock musical based on the 2004 Mark Waters film about high school hardships, superficiality, and the triumph of genuine friendships. The musical features 46 NHS students as well as a live pit band. Today we interviewed some of the actors on their experiences with acting and their journey to where they are now.
My role in this year's musical is Aaron Samuels. He's the love interest for Katie, the lead in this production, played by Malia. Last year, I was new at the school, and I went and saw their production of 13 Past Midnight, just because I had a lot of friends doing that, and I wanted to see what it was like. I just wanted to do it myself, so I auditioned for Hadestown. I was Underworld ensemble that year, and then I just kept going. I was in Frankenstein, and now I'm here in my last show, Mean Girls.
Mean Girls is about a girl, Katie, who moves to an American high school for the first time, and it kind of follows her journey, like observing all the different cliques and like dynamics throughout high school.
The people who do theater are all great people. They're really fun to be around. You find your own group of people and you just hang out with them in rehearsal in your free time.
Everyone's so good. I mean, like, I just love watching everyone. Everyone's so great at it. Everyone's passionate. It's a lot of fun.
This year we have so many new freshmen, and they're going to be the next generation of theater for the school. Seeing what they've been doing this year and seeing how good all of them are makes me really hopeful for the productions in the next couple of years. It's shaping up to be really quite exciting.
It's great. Everyone's nice. It's fun. We have a great time. We laugh a lot. It's a great community.
If you want to buy tickets, check out the website on screen now.
On this week's episode, we talked to English teacher Miss Bernhard about her passion for literature, some of her favorite books, how she got into reading, and why she values it so much.
I discovered my love for literature when I was a kid, and my dad would read to my brothers and me at night. I just was mesmerized by the picture books and loved that time. The first book I remember reading on my own, this series, it's called Little House on the Prairie. I just loved the spirit and the adventure in the olden time, and I still love historic fiction. I think that's my favorite. I think I've always liked literature that is angsty and rebellious. Some of the ones I've really been intrigued by recently, Richard Powers is a really important writer, and this one is Playground, which is all about AI. It shows how these scientists end up using AI and what it does basically to the whole world. It's quite an adventure, lots of different characters that we touch in with every time we open the book. My sister-in-law gave this to me. It's a mystery. It's called The God of the Woods. So if you like a page turner, that's a good one. I don't know if people have seen Hamnet yet. It's the story of Hamlet, Shakespeare's son Hamnet. This is a wonderful writer, Maggie O'Farrell. This is my favorite of hers. She's written a lot. This one is called I Am, I Am, I Am. And she takes, it's 17 brushes with death, and it just goes through her life, or is it her life? It might be fiction, her adventures. And I love seeing how people get in and out of situations. You know, you don't know where your life is going, and I think reading literature makes me feel good that people can get into a lot of stuff and still turn out okay. And even if it's not okay, it's a life that is full and exciting. I think I would have been a reader no matter what I did. And to be honest, I think when we were growing up in the 70s and 60s, and reading was what we did. There were 3 channels on the TV, maybe 4. We just did a lot of reading. That was the entertainment. I didn't mean to become an English teacher. I was an art history major. I didn't really like being a student when I was a student, but I missed being a student. And so I think reading was the reason I went into that field. The biggest takeaway, I would say, for education or for reading or from AP Lang, take what is valuable from the class. Take that. You don't have to know everything. At least in English, you don't. Remember what sticks with you when you have aha moments. Remember to look at every word. Don't skim. You know, enjoy it. Soak it in. There's no rush, and there really shouldn't be a rush in education or in reading.
If you're looking for a new read, maybe one of Miss Bernhard's recommendations is a good place to start. Thanks for watching Teacher Spotlight.
Thanks for watching. All club photos should be submitted by March 10th. If you are interested in taking photos for the yearbook, please contact Marins Royce or me, Olive Little. Our contacts are in the Daily Bulletin.